This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the Predator-Free Dunedin Partnership gets selected as a finalist for Predator-Free 2050 funding. Water supplies in Queenstown Lakes District are under increasing pressure. And a former Southland pupil proves his worth as a multi-instrumentalist by being accepted into 2 national youth music groups. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The Predator-Free Dunedin Partnership has been selected as one of 7 finalists for Predator-Free 2050 funding. One of the partners, the Otago Peninsula Biodiversity Group, has only been operating for 12 months. Roselle LeBone has more.
Hoani Langsbury and David Chalmers overlook a farm at the Otago Peninsula with a possum-proof fence. The Otago Peninsula Biodiversity Group wants to expand the fence at the peninsula near Shield Hill when the area becomes possum-free. I'm Roselle LeBone. The Otago Peninsula Biodiversity Group is one of the partners of Predator-Free Dunedin, looking for $4 million in funding from Predator-Free 2050 for the eradication of pests from 30,000 hectares around the region. The previous national government promised $69 million more in funding over the next 4 years towards predator-free goals. This year, 2 or 3 predator projects from 45 submitted across New Zealand will receive a third of their total costs from Predator-Free 2050. Predator-Free Dunedin has less than 10 days to finalise their proposal.
We came together and we looked at all the work, and we did a stock take of all the work that was going on throughout the wider Dunedin City Council area from those 19 stakeholders. And we identified the Otago Peninsula and the north side of the harbour as 2 key areas where we could meet the aspirations of 2050.
A pest program was instigated on Otago's peninsula in 2009 with around 10,000 possums killed. The group now wants to remove all predators from the peninsula by 2050.
The fence is a converted farm fence. It has a rabbit wire along from the ground up, and it has 3 electric wires running along it. One of those wires was on the existing farm fence, and we've added an additional 2 wires.
Predator-Free New Zealand will give $1 for every 2 raised by the partners. If they don't get the funding, they will continue working with the Otago Regional Council and the Department of Conservation to fund the remainder of the fence. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Pedestrians will be able to walk freely in front of Dunedin's iconic railway station as part of a short trial closing the area to vehicles. DCC Group Manager of Transport Richard Saunders says a pedestrian space in front of the railway station will improve safety and give locals and tourists better views of one of the city's best loved buildings. The trial runs for 3 days from Thursday the 25th of January to Sunday the 28th. The DCC is considering closing the area to vehicles permanently in the middle of the year. Queenstown Lakes District Council has issued further water restrictions today for Lake Hayes Estate, Shotover Country and Arthurs Point. These areas, as well as Arrowtown, are experiencing hot, dry weather and a high demand on water usage, which is placing a lot of pressure on its reservoirs. Mena Amso has more.
Today is another hot sunny day for tourists to enjoy in Queenstown, with temperatures rising to 28 degrees. However, with a little sign of rain on the way, local authorities are having to place further water restrictions in parts of the resort.
Got a strong demand on all of these supplies, which are coming close to what we can produce per day.
Glassner says the reservoir levels in these areas need to be higher. Currently, they are sitting at above 80%.
To provide as well good firefighting flows if a fire occurs, and with this weather we have already experienced various fires in the district.
Water restrictions would mean residents and businesses are advised to not irrigate between midday and midnight, to time limit sprinklers and irrigators to 30 minutes between midnight and 6 a.m. and to only water with handheld hoses between 6 a.m. and midday. Residents living elsewhere in the district are also being asked to conserve water. Glasner says there are a number of ways to do that, including taking shorter showers, checking for water leaks, and only washing dishes and clothes when you have a full load. Water restrictions will also remain in place for Arrowtown, and with no much rain forecasted in the coming days, restrictions will continue until further notice. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Pressure has eased on Mataro residents suffering through a water shortage as the town's reservoir gains capacity. The Gore District Council announced today the reservoir is fluctuating between 80 and 90% capacity, a big improvement on the start of the week when it dropped as low as 39%. Detection Services surveying the town found 2 large leaks earlier this week, which have now been repaired, while the council believed the sudden drawdown of water may have been caused by leaks and high water consumption during Southland's heat wave. A former Southland pupil has proved he's in tune with success after being accepted into 2 national youth music groups for different instruments. 19-year-old Finn Bodkin left Invercargill today to spend the next couple of weeks travelling the country with some of New Zealand's finest musicians. Sharon Rees has more.
Finn Bodkin makes his way through the first movement of Ralph Vaughan Williams' oboe concerto just to warm up. The former James Hargis College pupil has been accepted to play the oboe for the National Youth Orchestra next month, but not before he tours with the National Youth Brass Band as one of 4 percussionists. He says being accepted into either music group has been a lifelong dream, which is pushing him to further his musical aspirations.
It's nice to feel that I've achieved the goals that I wanted when I was younger. What I thought about the National Youth Brass Band, National Youth Orchestra, and how much it'd be so cool to get into some of these things, and now I'm in it, and it doesn't feel the same thing. It's just it's almost as if I want to go further, I guess.
Bodkin studies at the New Zealand School of Music, and while the oboe is his instrument of choice, he has delved into percussion for his studies. And despite being accepted by the National Youth Brass Band, he remains modest about his talents.
I've been putting a bit of time into timpani lately, and marimba's certainly something that I was really, really into. But unfortunately, you cannot study just marimba. You have to do everything, which I can't do. So.
While he's played at a national level a handful of times and plans to turn his musical talents into a career, Bodkin says the youth orchestra is the highest calibre he's played, leaving him a little nervous.
It's always an exposed instrument because it's a solo instrument and the sound's very piercing, so it's obvious. So there's no hiding at all. You really got to know your part, and yeah, so I guess that's what I'm nervous about.
Bodkin will begin to tour with the National Youth Brass Band from Saturday before joining the National Youth Orchestra on the 29th. The Youth Orchestra will play concerts in Christchurch on the 2nd of February and Wellington on the 3rd. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, the Minister for Seniors, Children and Internal Affairs visits Dunedin offices but gets upstaged by a new member of Cabinet, and we catch up with a young man who plans to climb the world's steepest street in an unusual way.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
They're part of the family, and like us, their health begins with what they eat too. So give them Radical Dog, made in New Zealand from all natural ingredients and real tart cherries, so it's high in antioxidants. It's a 3-in-1 superfood, giving them energy, flexibility and a healthy coat. With no fillers or nasty preservatives, they love them. It's the treat that can work wonders on every dog, no matter what their breed, age or health. Radical Dog, the new generation in dog food.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, Care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillians will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillians, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Oh, help! Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
The University of Otago, an institute of world-class education and the social epicentre of the city, with outfits needed for more formal functions like the ball and for less formal functions like
the zoo. Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Dad, you'll definitely see me. I'm the one in the yellow and blue face paint and the onesie in the zoo.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Calling all Otago superheroes, the 2018 Relay for Life needs your team. On March 17 and 18, the relay teams will join together to create one of the most inspiring events, helping not only to raise funds but also to remember those who have fallen to cancer or are struggling with it. To register your team, simply go to the website and sign on, then start fundraising. It's about celebrating, remembering and fighting back. Be a superhero and register now at relayforlife.org.nz.
Welcome back. Minister for Seniors, Children and Internal Affairs Tracy Martin visited department offices in Dunedin today. She spoke with staff at Oranga Tamariki this afternoon. However, there was one major topic of conversation, which as Minister for Children she has an interest in.
In Dunedin to meet staff, Minister for Children Tracy Martin chatted with her team members. However, her portfolios weren't the obvious topic of the day.
Isn't that fantastic? I got a message this morning, just as I got off the plane here in Dunedin, to say I needed to be on a Skype cabinet call. And we're all thinking, gosh, you know, what's happened? It's the first one of those we've been called to, etc., etc. And the Prime Minister was very kind to tell us all the fabulous news before she told the rest of the country. So I think it's brilliant. I love it.
Tracy Martin is the Minister for Seniors, Children and International Affairs, as well as being the Associate Minister for Education. While it's not quite like being Prime Minister and having a baby, she says it's still a big workload.
You know, I don't want to make decisions sitting up in an ivory tower up in Wellington without visiting the young people, talking with them, talking with the staff of Oranga Tamariki and the NGO groups that support us, because Oranga Tamariki can't do all the care for these young people. We need community along with us.
She's also supportive of removing the word vulnerable from the ministry's name, a view she shares with the head of the organisation, Gráinne Moss.
Oh look, I think it does affect the place. I think the interesting thing is a lot of the kids really like it, so they're quite stoked around the new name, and they were, you know, they do feel a pride, particularly around, you know, Oranga Tamariki. They feel a pride in the name, and the slight change has just reinforced that we are a new ministry and we want to do things differently, and the kids are involved in that.
Tracy Martin also visited the Otago Youth Wellness Trust this afternoon.
Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Next Thursday, we'll see a young man attempt to ride a pogo stick up the world's steepest street for charity. Rudy Adrian went to see the intrepid pogo stick rider practicing for his big day.
Dunedin's Baldwin Street is home to record breakers and would-be record breakers. But this is the first time anyone's tried to ascend it on a pogo stick. 11-year-old Harry Willis is taking on the challenge to raise funds as a thank you to Christchurch's Ronald McDonald House, which last year became a second home for Harry's family while his younger sister Darcy was receiving treatment for cancer. He's not sure if he'll make it up without having to stop, but he's already been practicing on even the steepest parts. Harry's mammoth attempt is scheduled for next Thursday and timed to coincide with a visiting cruise ship. Already halfway towards his goal of raising $2,500 in donations, Harry hopes the generosity of tourists on the day will help. His 5-and-a-half-year-old sister Darcy will also be there with her own bucket to help collect donations. Harry has a fundraising page on the internet site Everyday Hero, where people can also make donations. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, a dead leopard-sealed pup is immortalised in a display at Otago Museum, and The South Today gets the scoop on chips in Dunedin.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Opticon in the central city. These are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillian's know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillian's will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillian's, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products like awnings and umbrellas and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
Oh, help! Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
Thanks for staying with us. A leopard-sealed pup which was born off Dunedin St Kilda Beach in September and died several days later. It's about to be taxidermied and put on display at Otago Museum.
This leopard-sealed pup only lived for a short time on Dunedin's St Kilda Beach, but it attracted significant attention as its birth here was a rare event. Leopard seals normally give birth on the inaccessible pack ice of Antarctica. The Otago Museum says while it was sad the youngster died, its brief life provides an opportunity for research to better understand the species. The pup has already undergone a full series of imaging using MRI and CT scanning, making it the world's most imaged seal. Leading New Zealand taxidermist Peter Wells has been contracted to undertake the work. Wells is visiting Dunedin from Blenheim to complete the initial preparation, and then will return to his workshop and finish the project with his colleague Neil Hyde. The seal pup's skin will be tanned, treated and fitted to a custom-made mount to complete the taxidermy. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
A feed of fish and chips during summer is a Kiwi essential, but lately there's been discussion stating some shops are skimping on their chip servings. Roselle LeBone has the scoop.
Friday night fish and chips. It's a summer staple, but are Dunedin chip lovers getting a raw deal when it comes to portion sizes? How much? $10. $10, and that's a pretty good size, isn't it? Tell me a bit about what you've ordered today here.
Fish bites, blue cod, fish bites and chips.
I'm Roselle LeBone. Comments on social media this week may show the phrase cheap as chips is rapidly growing to be out of date. Recently, photos displaying the variance in portion sizes in chip orders taken around Dunedin were all over social media. This offending photo taken at Golden Wok had some crying foul on what constitutes a true scoop of chips. Many punters were complaining they simply weren't getting enough chips for what they paid. So I've got the scales here and I'm measuring each pack to find out the weight of an average scoop of chips. I started out at Mornington Takeaways to see if I could get some bang for my buck. Alright, so we've got our first lot of freshly cooked chips here. I'm just going to pop them on the scales, weighing in at just under 0.5 of a kilogram at Mornington Takeaways. And for that first scoop at Mornington Takeaways, we got $18 change back out of 20. Then it was on to Golden Wok, where they even obliged me by showing the size of their chip scoop. And now back to the place that started all this controversy, the Golden Wok. Scales at the ready. It's weighing in at about 490 for one scoop of chips. That's about 2 chips less than the Mornington Takeaways, give or take a few. So far we've had single scoops ranging from $2 to $2.30 in Mornington. Now it's time for take 3 in South D. The crispiest the South Today team saw on our travels were probably these from Cairns in South Dunedin. So a moment of truth here at Cairns Takeaways in South Dunedin. Single scoop. 495 grams for $2. Not bad. Yep. Really crispy. Yep. you like it? Best we've seen today, I think. Okay. Meanwhile, these flaccid specimens were purchased from a competitor further up the hill. And so from our comprehensive survey, we found that there's not a lot of disparity between size and price of chips in Dunedin. However, some places have let themselves down a bit in execution. I'm Roselle LeBone for The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The Predator-Free Dunedin Partnership has been selected as one of 7 finalists for Predator-Free 2050 funding, including a fledgling organisation that's only a year old. Queenstown Lakes District Council has issued further water restrictions today for Lake Hayes Estate, Shotover Country and Arthurs Point. And a former Southland pupil has proved he is in tune with success after being accepted into 2 national youth music groups for 2 different instruments. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry Stewart. What have you got for us in
Hello,
tomorrow's
Melissa.
newspaper?
Well, of course, the big story of the day was the news that the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, is about to have a baby. So we have all the background and news on that. So interesting story. Also, a University of Otago lecturer suggests that experiencing firsthand what it's like to be a working mother could have an impact on social policy decision making. So we'll see what happens there. Continuing the political theme, we have an interview with the Prime Minister on the Labor government's first 100 days to see how they're getting on with all the targets they set. We also have a report, of course, on a car crash in Alexandra, which was fatal, sadly, today.
Yeah, there's definitely been a high road toll.
There's been a lot of incidents on our roads over summer, but I guess it's not just over summer. It's a really a concern, isn't it?
Yeah.
But on a brighter note, we have The Mix is back tomorrow. So our magazine is back tomorrow with some great reading. The cover story is on the people behind the new wildlife hospital in Dunedin, so good read there. Lots of other entertainment, movies and puzzles, etc. So lots of good reading there.
Fantastic. So something for everyone in tomorrow's
Indeed.
newspaper. Lovely. Thank you, Barry. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Collagen Plus.
Looking at the situation, weak and light airflows are expected over the southern districts, so we're in for coastal sea breezes and the warm temperatures. The mostly clear skies will mean we should not forget our sunscreen when going outside this weekend. Looking at what's in store for those down south, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden, you will have light winds, fine weather and 27. Catlins, you have much the same with light winds, fine and a slightly cooler 24 degrees. Moving westward towards central, Alexandra has a region high of 31 degrees, light winds and fine. Wanaka and Queenstown, you also have light winds and 29 degrees for Wanaka and Queenstown at 28. Te Anau, light winds, fine and a slightly cooler 25 degrees. Up to the northern towns, Oamaru and Timaru are in for light winds, fine and 24. Fine and warm further inland with Omarama at 29 and Twizel at 28. Here in Dunedin tonight, fine with light winds with an overnight low of 14. Tomorrow will be warmer with sunny periods and high cloud 23 and 15. And mostly cloudy on Sunday with high cloud lowering during the day 18 and 15 degrees. And in Invercargill tonight, fine with an overnight low of 13. Tomorrow mostly fine and sunny with light winds 25 and 13. And it's the same for Sunday with 24 and 14 degrees. And that's our news for this Friday. For the latest news from the Southern region, you can follow us on Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you all have a great evening. Take care, ka kite anō, and we leave you with the week that was.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.